In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to design a wall calendar using Adobe Photoshop. Welcome back to the channel. My name is CJam, and here we are already in Adobe Photoshop, and the first thing we're going to be doing to create our calendar is creating a new file. We're just going to go ahead to new file button, and next you want to know the size of the calendar that you want to make, right? So let's go ahead and create a calendar that's 8.5 by 11 inches high, which is the standard letter size here in the North American region. So let me just go ahead and choose one of the Photoshop templates here, or you can come over here and go to inches and enter it manually, 8.5 by 11, or you can switch the orientation button to change where is the 11, where is the 8.5, and let's just do it portrait style, right? So let's go ahead and click create. All right, so here's our blank canvas. This is what we're going to be working with today, and this video is actually sponsored by Envato Elements, but we'll talk a little bit more about them later on. The first thing I want to do is create the calendar portion. The calendar that we're going to be making today is a wall calendar, right, that has a photo on the top and the calendar portion on the bottom, and it's one of those that has the flip up where you flip up the page to change the month. So that's what we're going to be making today. So let me just go ahead and create a new guide layout by going to view and then guides, and then view and then guides, and then new guide layout. That will give me some guides to separate the half with the photo and the half with the calendar, right? So what I want to do is I want to just well, this is fine as is, right? And you see I have my half here, I have my edges, so I know that when I design my calendar, I won't let anything go outside these guides. That way when it's printed, nothing will get cut off, right? So let me just go ahead and press OK, and let me just change my rulers from pixels to inches by just right-clicking on it and selecting inches, because that's what we're working with today, because remember our template is 8.5 by 11 inches, right? And what I want to do next is I want to go back to the guide layout, view, guides, new guide layout, and I want the margins right here, I want them to be 0.5 inches instead of 0.33 inch, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing. And with this box right here that says clear existing guides, you'll notice that the ones that I created before are gone. So let's just click OK. And now we can start creating, right? So what I want to do first in this bottom half right here is just drag out another guide from here. So this guide is at 5.5 inches, and I want another half-inch guide, because remember that the guides that we have on the outside are the margins are 0.5 inches. So 5.5 plus 0.5 is 6. So let's drag down the guides until we get 6. That's it right there. Let's do the same on the top. That way our design doesn't pass the folding area in the middle. So 5 inches, right? Now let me hit Ctrl and S to save this, and let me just name it LSPV 2023 calendar, or let me write a wall calendar, right? Or wall photo calendar. All right, yeah, wall photo calendar. Then let's click save. Now we can start creating. What I can do first, if I want, I can go ahead and bring in the photo that I'm going to be using. Here it is in my folder. I'm just going to drag it in like so. Or I could have gone to file and then place embedded if I want, right? And then I want my photo to be up here, right? And I want it to fill the entire top half, right? So let me just go ahead and just push it. I want it to stop right at this guy, so let me just move it up, right? That's cool. And if you didn't want it to touch the edge, if you wanted it to stop right here on these guides, if I don't want the photo to touch the edge like it is right now, and I wanted it to stop on the guides right here, all I have to do is just go ahead and create a new shape by hitting U on my keyboard, dragging out a shape like so. And because I have the guides, you'll notice that the shape is snapping to the guides, right? If I wanted the photo to stop right there, I could create a shape which is now a rectangle. You'll see it over here in your layers. Let me just make these thumbnails a little bit bigger, so you have the rectangle right there. What does large look like? Yeah, that's fine. You guys can see that, right? Let's do, well, yeah, large is fine. And let me move the rectangle behind the photo layer. Now let me right click on the photo layer and click create clipping mask, and that will snap the photo to the rectangle, right? Next, Ctrl and S to save all the changes that we just did. Now let me go ahead and create my actual calendar with the dates, right? So First thing I want to do is hit U for my shape tool again to create a rectangle, right? And what we're going to be doing is creating 5 rows for the days of the week. And how many days are in the week? 7 columns, Sunday to Saturday. So let me just go ahead and drag out a square, or maybe, yeah, let's drag out a square. And I'm holding shift while I drag out the square, right? And over here on my properties tab, I can just change the fill from white by turning it off and then adding a stroke that's black, right? And what I can do is just increase the size of the stroke right here to about 10 pixels, right? And if you don't have your properties tab here, when you're in your shape tool, you can do what I just did up here. But I like to keep my properties tab because each different kind of element that I click on, whether it's a text, photo, shape, the properties tab will switch, right, to whatever properties I can adjust, right, without me having to change the tool that I'm working with. All right, so that's why I keep my properties tab over here all the time. So I have my rectangle here. I want 7 of them. All I'm going to be doing is just, let me rename this one. Let me rename this rectangle by double clicking on it, the one that I have the photo on. Let me just name it photo rectangle, and just name this one by double clicking on it rectangle 1, and that one is like Sunday, right? Then let's drag it out. Oops, let me zoom in so you can see it. Control and Z to undo. What I'm going to be doing is just holding Alt on my keyboard, Option on the Mac, and just click and drag out while holding Shift. And right there is where the 2 rectangles meet. And let me just move it over some more. Yeah, right there. And all I'm going to be doing is just repeating that process until I have 7 squares, right? About so. Let me see. Yeah, that's cool. Now I can duplicate all 3 of them at once. Hold Alt and Shift and just click and drag out like so. See that? And you see the smart guys. Let me undo that, Control and Z. Let me show you something again. When I click Alt and Shift and drag out, see those smart guides with all the same measurements? It's telling me that the distance in between all of these rectangles are the same. And if you don't see your smart guide, you can turn them on by going to View and then Show and then Smart Guides, right? And that will be those pink guides right here that are telling you the measurements and different stuff when you're working with your elements, right? So let me drag out one more because I have 6 and I want 7. About there. That's looking real good. What I can do now is I can name all of these. So let me double click on the first one, name it Sunday. Always save your project, Control and S to save. That way you don't lose anything. Monday. I'm just double clicking on the rectangle layers and renaming them. Tuesday. How many weeks are in a month? 4, right? But sometimes, you know, a month may have like 5 weeks, right? It may have 5 Sundays in a week, depending on if the month starts like at Wednesday or Thursday. You may get like 5 Sundays and 5 weeks in that month, right? That's how it goes, right? And then Friday and then Saturday, right? All right, so that's looking good. What I can do now is select all of them over here in my layers and then hit Control and G to group them, and then let's call them week. Let's call it week 1, right? So there we are. We're just going to duplicate this by hitting Control and J. See, we got a duplicate here that says week 1, and let's just drag it down like so, right? But you see how thick this line is. It's not as thick as this one. It's a little bit thicker. So let me just adjust it up some more so they're the same, right? That's looking much better. I can just duplicate week 1, copy again, or I can select both of them and duplicate it, Control and J, and then I can drag it down some more. Let's zoom in. That's perfect. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and I just need one more for our 5-week months, right? There we are. We're all ready to go. Now I can rename the groups week 1, week 2, week 3. I'm just duplicating this. I'm just double clicking and renaming them. Sorry, I'm renaming them, not duplicating them. I already did that. I'm just double clicking and renaming them, right? Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. Let's hit Control and S to save all the changes that we've made thus far. Now that I have all the weeks that I want, I can group those weeks as well by selecting all of them in my layers, hitting Control and G. And let's call this month, right? So we have the month right there, or let's name it month blocks. So all the blocks, right? All right, cool. So let's just adjust this to the center of our template by hitting Ctrl and A to select all our pixels on our template, and then coming up here to my align options and just align the horizontal centers. If you're not seeing these, you have to make sure that you're in your move tool by clicking the first tool or hitting V on your keyboard, right? So there we are, we're coming together nicely, right? And you know what I can do next is I can stretch these, like make them wider if I want. But before I do that, let me just go ahead and write like the year and then and the month, you know, January 2023, right? So let me go ahead and hit T for my type tool, and then let me just write January. It's there, but it's white. Let me come over here to change the color. Let's lose a brand color. Let's lose the orange, or yeah, let's use the orange because this photo has some blue in it already, right? So January is fine. And then let me duplicate it, Control and J, and then let me move it over here. Then let me name this 2023, right? That's what we want, right? About there. So let's have the month be smaller than the year. So let's do 24 pixels. Let's also make it not as bold. Let's do Gotham. Let's change it from Gotham Black to Gotham Medium. Right? We don't have to have the year being that big, do we? So January is 24 points. 2023 can be 24 points as well. Let's just move it over here and put January here. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? And here's what I was saying with the shapes. Here's what I can do with the month blocks, right? I can hit Control and T for my transform options, and I can just hit one of the sides, you know, while holding Alt and Shift, Option and Shift on Mac, and I can just stretch it out like so if I want it, like, right? That's one way to do it. Or initially when we were making it, what I could have done is I could hit U again for the shape tool, and just instead of making them perfect squares by holding Shift, I could have just dragged them out wider, but there was no way for me to know how it would have looked or how it would have fit in the space until I actually did it, right? So if you know that you need to stretch it, you can stretch it by how I just showed you, right? Control and T for your transform options, hit Option and Shift on the Mac, Alt and Shift on Windows, and just drag out one of the sides, right? And there we are. And I am thinking that this is a little bit too wide. Sorry, a little bit too thick, the shapes, right? So what I can do is I can select all the weeks, hit U for my shape tool, and why am I missing one? And I should have all of them selected. I don't know why this one isn't selected. And I can just go back and change the stroke from 10 pixels to 5. There I am. I don't know why week 1 didn't change just now. That is weird. All right, let me go back into week 1. It should have changed just like all the others. Let me just change it to 5. All right, cool. And now we're looking better. It's not as like overbearing, right? I can even make it thinner if I wanted to. Let me do like 3, right? And I can go back to the others and do the same thing. Let's do like 3, so it's not like too heavy. Week 2 didn't change. All right, that's fine. You can do it individually, that's fine. 3. All right, now we're looking good. Close that group, Control and S to save everything that we just did. Do I want the month blocks to touch these guides? Yes, I do. Control and T for my transform options. Hold Alt on my keyboard and Shift. Option Shift on Mac, and just drag it out till I get my smart guides. And that pink line right there is telling me that it's touching the edge on this side, and because I'm holding Alt, it will be the same on this side. Then I can hit Enter on my keyboard to place it, and now we're looking good. Now we're getting somewhere. What do you guys think? And let's just say you want to like have a little inspirational message or a Bible scripture here on the same page as the month. You can just hit like T for your type tool, just drag it out, and just let some placeholder text go in there, right? If you want. That's still too big. Let me do 8, or yeah, I just need some placeholder text. Nothing too serious, you know. Let's go to the paragraph options, turn off -8, and we can just like let me see how much text is here. Oh, there's a lot of text here. I don't want all that text. I just need that, and I can just drag it back down. Let me zoom in for you guys. This is literally just placeholder text, just to say, like, if you wanted to put like a Bible scripture or some kind of like motivational thing for them, you can do anything you want because you're the one making this, right? Let's change the color of the text to blue. That's good, right? You can change this to whatever you want. And you know what I'm going to do? Let me make the month and the year smaller, because I want to add a little row up here. I completely forgot that. A little row up top here that says Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I completely forgot that. Why didn't you guys tell me that I'm leaving that out? Let's do 16 for the month and the year. Or should I make the year bigger? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I want to know what you guys think. Let's leave it as is. Do I make this calendar shape, the month blocks, smaller, or like compress it? Let's do that. Control and T by selecting the month blocks layers and then holding Shift, not Alt, because we don't want it to happen on both sides. And let's just drag it down. Let's just make it smaller because we can, right? And then here's what I'm going to do. Control and S to save all that I just did. And then let me just duplicate week 1. Control and J. Let's rename it days, or name of days, right? Let's drag it below that. Let's move it up top right here. Right, that's looking good. Hold on. Yep, that's it. And then Control and T for my transform options. Hold Shift, right, to compress it, and then there we are. Now we're getting somewhere, right? No, we're definitely getting somewhere. And here's what I'm going to do. Instead of having this have an outline like all of these, let's just take off the outline and just change it to a fill, right? How about that? What do you guys think? Let's do that, and let's turn off the stroke and see what we have. That's looking pretty good if you ask me. Maybe I should have kept the stroke. Let's keep the stroke. Let's make it white. I mean, it's fine, right? Or do I put it back to black? Yeah, let's put it back to black to keep in theme with the design. It's fine. It is perfectly fine. And let's just add some text in here. Let's hit T for a type tool. Let's write Sunday. Or should we just do SUN? You know, that calendar style. Let's do SUN. Let's make it about 12 pixels. Let's increase the tracking to about 200, or maybe like 400. Let's change the color of the text to white, and then let's, oh wait, I need to rename this, right? Sunday. Let me just drag this down. Wait, let me make these thumbnails smaller because I need some more space. Let's drag down the SUN to, where is Sunday? Oh, right here. Where is it? It's white. Oh, there it is. If something is missing or you can't see it but you know it's there, a good way to find it is hit Control and T for your transform options, and it will just like reveal itself like this. See that? All right, cool. Let's just drag it over here. My smart guide should tell me when it's aligned to all the other layers. That is aligned, right? Now all I have to do is just like duplicate it. Control and J, and oops, let's move it in front of Monday. Remember that Netflix show movie, like What Happened to Monday? Did you guys watch that? That was so cool. What happened to Monday? Just know it was behind the shape. And then let's duplicate it. I'm holding Alt and I just clicked and dragged it in my layers. And then let's call it Tuesday. Is it TUE or TEU? It's fine. Control and J to duplicate it. Move it above Wednesday. Is anybody watching Wednesday now on Netflix? Let me know. WED. Thursday. Let's drag it over. All right, that's cool. TH. Is it THU or is it THUR for the abbreviation? Control and J again. Drag it above Friday. All I'm doing is duplicating it and then dragging it above the blue shape layer. That way it's visible. That's all I'm doing, nothing more. Right? So let's move it over here. Why is it not being centered? That is weird. All right, that looks good. I hope that's good. I really hope that's good. Does it look centered to you or does it look off? All right, there we are. Smart guides, people. Smart guides. and then Control and J, and then let's move it up above the Saturday shape, and then let's just drag this over. Simple and easy as that. Nothing to overthink. Oops, I just hit Control and H by accident while I was trying to hit Control and J to duplicate the Thursday and name it Friday. And what that did is it hid all my guides as well as my smart guides. See, all the guides are gone. If I were to hit Control and H again, they would come back. That's why I didn't get any smart guides just now while I was moving Friday. That is crazy. Because I was like, where are my guides? Why am I not seeing my smart guides? Wait. No, this is Saturday, right? SATs. SAT, not SATs. SATs are the exam, right? All right, now we're getting somewhere. And of course, you can change these fonts if you want. Like, creativity is totally up to you, right? Now, all I have to do next is just add the numbers for our days, and we're good to go. That's all we have to do. Let me hit the January. Let me change it from Gotham Medium to Gotham Book. Yeah, I like that. All right, Control and S to save all that we've done so far. I think the January actually needs to be smaller than the 2023. They're both 24 points. Let's make the January 16. Do I though? Or maybe it needs to be all caps. What do you guys think? Let's align it left on the paragraph. Or you could hit T, go up top here to align it left, right? Oops, sorry. I'm sorry. What am I doing? Sorry. Control and Z to undo. All right, and that's looking good. Let's align this to the right. And then let's move it over. All right, now we're looking good. Now we're looking like money, right? Control and S to save. Let me collapse this. All we have to do next, let's make this a little bit bigger. Control and T for my transform options. And then let's just like bump it up. So, right. See this dot right here and this one here, that's the center of the layer. And if I were to move it here, that long line, pink line, smart guides, it's centered, right? Then just hit enter to place that and we're good to move along. Maybe I should make this orange, seeing that everything else is orange and this is blue, right? That's it, that's looking good. Control and S to save, or maybe I can do black. I don't want that to stand out as much as the month or the year, so let's just make it black, right? Control and S to save. No, we add the numbers for our months, or do I leave you guys to do that for yourselves? I'm not going to show you how to do it. Haha. All right, T for our type tool. We're just hitting the numbers now. 1, 2 to 31, right? So let me hit 1. Let's change this to Gotham Black, right? And then let me make it. Do I want it to be that bold? Yeah, it's fine. Let's work with it. We can always change it, right? Let's just perch this up here. Let's align it to the right so that every time we type a new number and it's a double barrel number or a double digit number, it will just move over to the left, right? See that? Instead of me having to realign it all the time. So we have 1. We have 2. Right, I'm just duplicating Control and J. That's all I'm doing. It's pretty straightforward. And then you just hit T for your type tool, click on the layer, and then you'll get to change it, right? That's all there is to it. Nothing more, nothing less, right? Utilize your smart guides to know when it's aligned. That's all we're doing. We're just hitting it because we're professionals, right? Control and J again. Hit the 5. And then 1 more time or 2 more times. T, click on it, 6. And January actually started on a Sunday this year, right? And then we're hitting it again. And then 7, and we're looking good. All I'm going to be doing now is just duplicating it, move it down, edit the numbers, repeat, right? Control and S to save all that we just did. All right, here's what I'm going to be doing now. I'm just going to select all of these numbers, right? 1 to 7, then hit Control and J to duplicate. Let me zoom in for you guys. And then let me just minimize this grid. That way you guys can see more of my calendar right here. I already duplicated it. Move it down to right there, right? And let's just edit the numbers. That's all we're doing. 8. You guys can fast forward to the end of this segment if you want. so you don't have to watch me do this boring number stuff, right? 12, but I really want you to stick around because I'm going to show you how I'm going to move it off the lines. I'm not going to keep them right here. I'm going to move them, but I really want to just like show you guys how to do this, right? All right, so let's hit the layers again. Let's find 8 to 14, Control and J to duplicate. Then let's move them down, right? How are we looking? All right, cool. Where did we stop? 14. All right, let's do 15. 16, 17. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this while I'm doing it. Oh my gosh. Am I boring you guys? Let me know in the comments. Or are you having fun designing with me, right? I hope you're designing with me. Oops. And then let me hit it again. What's that? 21 to 15. Sorry, 15 to 21. Select all of them in our layers. Control and J to duplicate. Let's move it down about there. See that? Smart Guides is telling me that my numbers are almost the same distance apart from each other. Almost. But hey, I won't tell if you won't. All right, 22. It was 22, right? I think it was 23. But hey, guess what? We can always go back, right? And change it. That's the beauty about working with Photoshop, right? And then 26. 27, 28, right? Let's hit the 22 to 28 again. Control and wait, I don't need all of that. I just need 28, 29, 30. January has 31 days. All right, let's do 21. So this is gonna be 29, 30, 31, right? Control and J, let's move it to the top. Let's move them down. Right? I mean, that's right. It has to be right. It's 31 days in January, right? 29, 30. Oh, that's 90. Can you imagine if January had 90 days? Kind of feel like it does have 90 days sometimes. All right. What do we got? What do we got? We're looking good. So we have all our numbers, right? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find all of them in my layers, right? Select all of them. Control and G. Let's just call it date. What did we call it? Date numbers. Because for the other group that we had was name of days, right? Do we do numbers of days or just you guys know what it is? Date numbers. All right. Control and S to save. Now here's what I'm going to do. I am going to just select the date numbers group. Then I'm just going to move it down and off the lines to the left, right? So V for my move tool, holding shift and using my directional pad, my arrows on my keyboard, and then I'm just going to hit it by holding shift. 1, 2, 3 moves down, 1, 2, 3 moves to the left, and that's all I'm going to be doing. I'm literally going to be doing nothing else, like nothing. The only thing I might do based off what I'm seeing here is I might reduce the weight of the actual numbers because they're kind of overshadowing the days, the name of the days, right? So let me just hit, where am I? Date numbers. Let me just select all of the text right here. Now let's just name it like, let's just reduce it from Gotham Black to Gotham, yeah, medium, book, medium, book. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, medium or book. I cannot decide. Book is nice. Book is nice. Do I want to make the name of days smaller? They all look too big. Control and S to save. Let's go back into our months. Let's drag the date numbers down here, right? Let's find the name of days and let's just make it smaller. Control and T to select it all. And we can just decrease the percentages or we can just pull on a side, whichever you want. But let's just, oh, I'm sorry. It's changing the size of the shape as well. So what I want is just the actual text, right? Control and T, just reduce the size, the percentage. Oh no, that's not what I should do. I should decrease the size of the text. Sorry. Yes, and it will stay centered, right? All right, so 10, is it fine? What do you guys think? Yeah, it's fine. It's perfectly fine. All right, and the date numbers are also fine too. And one of the cool things about these kind of calendars is you can like scribble things in these boxes, you know, like birthdays, stuff like that. And because we have individual rectangles for these months, so let's say you don't use everything in week 5 like we have right here. All you can do is you don't use anything beyond the Wednesday in week 5, just turn them off and you're good, right? Or you can leave them all there if you want, But hey, this is where our fold would be, like, you know, after it folds and you change the month. And I think this is perfectly fine. I don't want to change anything else, and I'm so going to reduce the size of January. It is just way too big. Let's do 16. It's just too big. I'm sorry, I tried. And let's just align it to the center of the 2023. Yeah, right there. That looks better to me. That looks much better. What do you guys think? Control and S to save. So there we are. We just designed our first folding photo wall calendar together. And obviously, if you want to do the rest of the months, you just change the photo. You just change the text of the month right here from January to February, March. You get the picture, right? You move around the date numbers because obviously every month is not going to start on the same day, right? And then you change your photos, as I just mentioned, and I could not have done this without this awesome photo that I got from Envato Elements. Envato Elements is where I get all my stock photo content for my YouTube tutorials, just like you saw here. And here's what's cool about a subscription from Envato Elements. You can try it for 7 days and see if you like it, and then when you fall in love with it, you can get 70% off a month's subscription using my discount code in this video's description. And it gets even better because with a subscription from Envato Elements, you don't just only download one stock photo for your calendar or 12 for the entire year. You get unlimited downloads. Yes, Envato Elements gives you unlimited downloads of creative assets like stock photos, stock videos, and royalty-free music. Envato Elements is the way to go if you're a graphic designer. I've been using them for 5 years, and trust me, they are the best deal on the internet. Control Alt and S, Command Option S if you're on Mac, and let me just save this as a JPEG. You can do PNG or whatever it is you like. If you're printing this for a client, or a client wants you to send it to them for printing, ask the client what file type the printer needs. If they want a PDF, you know, if they want a TIFF, PNG, or JPEG like I just said, and all you have to do is click save. And I'm just going to hit my quality all the way up to 12 and click OK, and there we are. So have you ever designed a calendar before? If not, how confident are you to get started right now for this year? And here's what's cool. If you want to see me design another calendar with all the months of the year on that design, click right at the screen to check out that tutorial right now. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.